Oscar Lerma, and Mick Maggie. Please. So welcome back and congratulations on the film. I know that you made it actually really quite a lot in the scheme of things. It was kind of back. I mean, the film was actually released in 2019, but a huge congratulations because it's great fun and well worth the wait for the UK audience. Just to say first of all, I know that you have got not just yourselves, but also special guests on the film.
Yes, I don't.
And to unveil them.
Normally, I don't walk around with a like bright green shopping bag. Prisma is like the Estonian Aldi, I guess, or whatever.
It's the best in Estonia.
Yeah, so we have some.
Best shopping center. This is not the plug.
Visit Prisma.
Maybe you're not from Prisma. When you visit Estonia, you should visit Prisma, the best shopping chain.
So here we have some of the characters from the film. Just to let you guys know, you
Not
can,
available to purchase from Prisma, but
you can. They will be also as you exit the theater. We will be by the photo wall with those guys, and if you wanna maybe like see them and you can hold them. And yeah, make pictures and spread the word. I'll just lay them out. I mean, we don't have to like sit in awkward silence.
No,
as
they
I
are.
post them.
I mean, do they have like sort of like metal armatures inside them, or are they?
Oh yeah, so all these the main puppets that you see right now that I'm gonna unveil from this bag very slowly are they have like very classical sort of wire armature puppets. And even though it looks like claymation, it's there's no clay. I think maybe some of those have. Yeah, like actually the Albert Fair one has a little bit of. He has like plasticine on his made of. His face is made of
so the
plasticine.
story was that when we started this character over 10 years ago, we made it as a graduation film in the uni, and then the first old man sketch was like 2 minutes long, and in the Estonian Art Academy we had a very prestigious professor called Bieber, who is like a real master of animation. Maybe some of you know of him. And a lot of the students they took the making their first graduation films very seriously, as you should, of course. And then some of them made them for 3-4 years, and I guess out of a little bit of a rebellion, we did it like in a week. And the story was of the old man who got cold in his barn, and then he climbs inside the cow to get warm, and the cow dies. Classic. So Reed was not very pleased. He was like, "No, it's not a good story to do it like this." And our fellow students as well were a little bit like not very happy with us for not taking it too serious. But the students loved it. They were like, "Best cow dying film ever." So yeah. We thought that Estonians like this cow dying humor, and we made another one, and then the ball started rolling a little bit, and now we are here.
So as you say, you had this sort of series of web sketches.
Yeah.
How long was it between the kind of web sketches and actually getting the green light to make the film?
Well, the web sketch was always like a little bit of an inside joke for us. Like we made the first sketch like inside of a cardboard box pretty much, and we never, like, the intention never was to like, "Oh, we're gonna, you make this in the box, and our girlfriends will leave us because what the hell are you doing in the box?" So we never had this vision of like of this maybe being some kind of like a bigger thing. But it eventually we got this offer to make the full feature film maybe like 10 years later. So, but by then we had made loads of those sketches and like TV ads and some TV like things.
Character development viral in the Estonian culture sphere.
I rated the virus.
Virus, foreign virus. Just as a side note, old man has been working out for tonight, so he's he's your, like just for you guys. So yeah, like he's you can take pictures with it. Could be here, yeah.
And animation is notoriously like it takes a long time and involves a lot of people. But actually, in the scheme of things, you turn this film around pretty quickly with a relatively small group of people. I mean, was it about a year plus another year for the script and everything as well?
Yeah, I think from the moment that Nick invited, so everything he told you guys about was him and his friend Peter, with whom they studied together, and they created the character. But Nick invited me sort of behind the writers' table at the inception of this feature-length idea, and we sort of really hit it off really well, and we started writing it together and then directing it together, and from that first meeting until the premiere was roughly 2 years, which is for any kind of feature length, even live action, is a really quick turnaround, but especially for a stop motion animation. And roughly it was like a year of writing and storyboarding and prepping, and then maybe like 9 months or a little bit more of the actual principal photography. But I mean, it wasn't as clean as I'm telling you right now, because it was all overlapping, mishmash all the time, doing 7 things together.
Yeah, classically what you would like to do is like you write a script, then you storyboard it, and make an animatic, then you record the voices, and then you go into production, because it's very time consuming and costly, etc. But I think we didn't do any of it. We had the script, but we were writing the script as we were shooting, and we had the storyboard roughly, but we didn't have the animatic. So every night or morning before the animators came, then we like improvised voiceover, and like we were like, okay, how is we have this beautiful scene of the tree and machine, and how do we make it beautiful? So it would translate to the people like the beauty of the tree, and so it was like,
It's basically like a nature documentary.
And the other thing is that both of you supply a very significant number of voices. I mean, particularly in your case, because you were, I think, the older brother and the younger brother and the sister. So you the older brother.
I'm the sister, and he's most of the, like Mark, Friedrich, Old Man, Mick, and a bunch of others. So we do like some of the background extras also, the background characters. But I mean, like most important, of course, like he's like the main character. But I think my favorite character in the film is the old milker, voiced by Jan Husbel.
And to say that, Jan, I know in Estonia you're very well known, and you've acted in all sorts of different formats. And I think voice acting is quite difficult though, because you have to put everything obviously into the voice. You can't.
Yes. This is like very. It's you spend your time like in gym. It's very physical to express yourself only with voice, especially for us, because I didn't learn how to in the theater academy. We didn't learn how to give voice to a character in animation film.
And also, I guess some of the things that are happening on screen are so extreme that you have to then find the right voice and the right tone. So,
No, but this was our childhood. I was born in 1973 in the Soviet Union. This was our life.
Biography.
Yeah.
It's actually about the physical stuff. I remember I was such a pleasure working with Jan, and I remember
it's great to take it as a commentary, because like for us it has been like dramatical.
Yeah, it's actually very. We were offended that you laughed.
Yeah.
But actually, it's funny that you mentioned the physical, because one of my favorite memories, I think I have it somewhere, like as a behind-the-scenes clip with a phone. That it was like Jan on one of the sessions. He starts the session and he's like, he has his clothes on and still, and he's just doing, starting from a slower scene, like, and then it's a hard cut, and the next clip is you. I think you had like a tank top on, like
yes.
like
yes.
it's sweaty, like it's just like it's like a punk rock concert, It was so good, and we were like sitting like, can you do it louder and longer? And it's basically like, okay, guys.
More intensity, please.
Yes, that was our main direction for him.
And you're certainly the person who kind of, I don't know whether you did this yourselves or whether you had a team working on the sound effects, but you certainly gave them quite a challenge, I would imagine, in terms of all the different sound effects in that film.
Yeah, I think one of the challenges was because like I'm not a trained actor, and all of you can do the old man voice, because it's just I have to speak like lowly, like I make a low voice, and and it's in many times it's very hard to understand what he's saying, because my pronunciation is not very good. So the trick was like how to make it understandable, like what he's saying, because we were editing the sound and we were listening to it, and because we know the script, we were like, And then we asked the sound guys like, "But do you understand what he is saying?" And they're no, but it's who cares?
It's funny.
It's funny.
No.
And
It's 90 minutes. You need to understand something. Like you guys had subtitles, so you, I guess, put like some of the picture together. But yeah, like everyone's like in Estonia, they love the voice so much. It's just like out of context. Like, this is great. But like,
That's also a big why Jan
Jan.
Jan was so good for this project because like he brought this like he was very good as the old milker, and he also like brought some kind of like he was a very strong antagonist, very strong villain. Because if we would have done all the voices ourselves, then maybe it would have fallen a little flat. So we needed like this.
You could understand what
We
he was
needed
saying.
young. We needed you.
Was it not quite difficult to differentiate between the different voices when you were doing them? Were you recording one character at a time?
It was. I think the recording process was a lot like a mishmash. We recorded some characters and then we went back to them and we changed the script because the beauty of it is that since their mouths aren't moving, because that was like a big artistic choice so much as it was more like when you started you just didn't it was too much of a hassle to make
like we were like we were thinking we should make lip sync, and then we were like it takes so much time. Do it. And then like so people got used to the old man characters mouth not moving. But for this movie, we even made like tests. Okay, let's make it proper this time, like with the moving mouth as it was supposed to be. But by now, everybody like knows the character as it is, and so now we did make this as like an artistic choice.
Yeah.
So let's keep it as it is.
But in terms of differentiating all the different voices, it was actually a challenge. Like we were doing a lot of the voices ourselves, and at one moment we noticed that their faces aren't moving, so it's very hard to differentiate who the hell is talking. And it's like it's you know what the fuck's going on. So it's just like it's very complicated. And I think the solution for at least differentiating the Aino and Priidik was just giving Aino a lip, so she talked like that, and I guess
Genius,
that's so, I don't know. So yeah, that was the creative filmmaking that we did.
And in terms of the actual puppets that you used online, did you refresh them all for the film? And then obviously you had to introduce lots of new characters as well. But in terms of the look and feel of the characters as they are now, is that very similar to how they were originally?
With the main character, the main old man character, he was pretty much fleshed out pretty well during the sketches already. Like he's very like a trickster guy who is like spontaneous and this kind. We had him pretty much nailed down, but now the challenge was like how to expand this universe a little bit, because like one of the big criticisms that we had while we embarked on making this film was like, okay, you made the small sketches, they're funny, but it's impossible to make it into a big film. So, and all the children characters, pretty much they all had the same like potato faces, all the same voices, and they were very wide, they all sounded the same. And then we were like, if you're gonna have this for an hour and a half, so it will become unbearable. So we had to like figure out, okay, one is a girl, one is a boy, one is younger. So we gave them like characters. So that was one of the challenges, or like part of the world building for the bigger picture.
Sometimes one of the things that is very apparent is that successful comedies in different countries overseas do not always translate well in different countries. But this one does seem to, I mean, in terms of globally, in terms of festivals and it does seem to have been picked up pretty widely, doesn't it? I mean,
it's the tree, the attractive thing.
Transcends language.
It's like,
but you made it essentially for an Estonian audience.
That's funny, yeah. Actually, we made it like I think we made it first and foremost for us, right? Like I mean, as we make the film, we made each other laugh, and as we were writing, and we just were chuckling through the whole thing, and then we made it for an Estonian audience with Estonian like references. Some of them you.
The rockstar character who's inside the bear is like a very Estonian thing. He actually exists in Estonia, Jaagup Kreem, and so yeah, it was a conscious choice to use him, and because Estonians know him.
Yeah, it's a legit cameo. He is himself voicing the character, so it's like as if we would do. Like, it would be like South Park. That would be like Axl Rose, for example, you know. But we didn't think about it at all. But it's funny that we're very happy and flattered that it has found an audience worldwide, because I guess people like farts.
No, it's the tree and tractor.
Yeah,
thing.
farts, sure.
obviously when you look up things on the internet, you're never sure how true things are. But for Jan, it's an entry for you on the internet that says that in Estonia, you are known as impersonating Justin Bieber, Fred Astaire, and Shirley Bassey. Is this correct?
Yes, because I'm a very good singer.
I wasn't going to ask. Well, I was going to ask you, but this is true.
Actually, yes, but this is actually I don't know. Mostly I known as Jan Uuspold because this is my brand and my also my citizen name. But it became like brand because we made a road movie about when I was very big drunk. I was drinking very much, and I couldn't make any roads anymore. And then I lost my work in Estonia National Drama Theatre, and the feeling was like that I had nothing anymore. I had to go to somewhere. I had to exit Tallinn, our capital city, Tallinn, and then the only place where to go is Tartu. Tartu is second biggest city, and then we made when somebody have to go somewhere, then you have to make road movie, and then my name became like brand because the movie was called Jan Uuspold Goes to Tartu. But this Shirley Bassey and this Justin Bieber, actually I don't remember. This was some kind of show where you.
It's a singing show, right? You have
Singing
to
show,
impersonate.
yes.
We probably have it. It's like a format we have.
That's a very
That was a
big
one-off
thing
thing,
for
wasn't
us.
it? Yes.
Yeah, it's not like he is like Justin Bieber all the time.
In Estonia, everybody knows Jan Uuspold, especially my girlfriend for some reason. She's so into it. She's like all your sketches. She's like, oh, do you remember when Jan Uuspold did this impersonation? So,
It's funny how your girlfriend has a similar voice to. So we have time to get some questions if anybody would like to ask anything. If you want to put your hand up, a microphone will make its way to you. You're maybe still in a stunned. Oh, there we go. There's a question over there. The gentleman's been ostracised on the side.
The movie was amazing. I just wanted to ask a bit more about, you talked about how it's found not just an audience here in England, but all over the world. And I just wondered if there's any things in it which you think are really Estonian, or like maybe that a global audience wouldn't quite pick up on. Like, I was also wondering about the tree god. Like, this is not a concept I think that we have in England. The closest I can think is like Grandmother Willow in Pocahontas.
You're joking.
But she's not called a tree.
What are you talking about?
So I just wondered if there was anything specific about Estonia that's in it, that's all.
Well, I mean, the cult of the milk and the tree god is pretty international.
I mean, milk is a big deal in Estonia, isn't it?
No, but I mean, the tree god actually, even in Estonia, it's not the big, it's like, the tree god came out of, some kind of Estonian, like, folk tale or something, but it isn't like a household thing.
We don't have all own tree gods.
It's something very old, like we found from some kind of old, like, old book, this saying tree god, but in everyday Estonian life nobody knows the tree god except from the Old Man franchise. So but I don't know. I think just the rural life of, like, you know, this drunkard sitting behind the local shop, like drinking beer. And then the city people who are more like work oriented, and these two worlds clashing. Maybe this is the one of the themes that's maybe universal in Estonia, but also maybe here in Britain as well, and other parts of the world.
But actually, if you quit drinking, you have to have something alternative. Then you start to believe in trees.
Yeah.
And you start a cult.
Are there any other questions from anybody? There's a question just over here. And was that another one over there? Did you put your hand up? Or, oh, so you just
thank you for the animation. It's the best that I have watched for this year. So I just have a very interesting question for you three, because we could feel there are so many perspectives in the character with the infusing the maybe the desire or the needs or new things. And which character do you feel you're mostly close to in like every character? If you're gonna pick one and why?
which character are you most close to?
I think I would love to. I would love to be closer to. It was very fun writing the old Milker. I think that was the most because we were doing like the voice. It's like so unhinged. Like, and I think it's a lot of fun. But I would love to say some cooler characters. But I think I'm actually like huge Breedic. I'm like total Breedic. I'm like I'm a softie and a wimp and I'm all that. So I think I'm like if I'm honest, I'm probably Breedic. Yeah.
Well, for me, I guess it's the old man because a lot of the old man is channeled through like my little bit like subconscious and also through my father because yeah, my father, like many of even the jokes have been based on like phone calls that I've gotten from my father in the middle of the night. Like, why doesn't my computer screen work? You try to plug in the wire. Oh, wait a second, and then it's like, oh, crap, it's not going. I'm going along the wire. Yeah, it's still not working. Anyways.
But it's also imagine if you would shave his Mick's eyebrows and hair. Kinda it's him. So maybe he will eventually. We're joking around that eventually at the sort of the last act of his career, he will transform finally.
I'm not making this voice. Stop, please stop. I'm just talking normal. I'm just old.
For me also, this I like old man character very much because this is actually it's very sad character because this generation was they kind of emotional morons. Yes, it's very easy to say younger generation can very easily to say them that shut up, you don't know how to behave in nowadays life. You are morons. But if you sit down and try to be a little bit empathic, then you can discover that actually they are also very kind persons. You can love them. They are not just Uncle Hanos, or almost to say this. We have to understand them. They had very hard times when Estonia was occupied. They were sitting in Soviet ships and Soviet army, and that's why they're drinking alcohol, and that's why they are emotional morons, how we like to say.
I love that Jan is balancing everything out there with the real life shit. But it's true.
They were also like kids once, so
yeah, exactly.
What did you think they are gonna like believe? When you ask them about some hot topics. So like.
We have time for one more question if anybody has got one. There's one at the very, very back, like the very, very, very back row. The microphone just coming over to you now.
Hello. I was quite taken with the slightly darker joke about the worker whose wife has left him. I love that. I don't know about anyone else. But I wonder if that is at all connected to the fact that you extended this out into a full film in short films. I wondered how you balanced the tone to kind of keep it funny to the end.
It's difficult to sustain a comedy for a feature length when you've been making kind of 2 and 3 minute shorts, isn't it? I mean, I guess the script must have been a big part of your development.
For sure, yeah. I mean, first of all, I'm so happy that you zeroed in on the workers' characters because they weren't in the sketches, but they were also one of our favorites because we sort of loved this a lot of different types of humor, but we were also like really into the shows like Louis or like this like weird absurdist things that take a really dark turn and then like really just stay dark. And I think we would have, if we would have made like a 2.5 hour movie, it would have been even a lot darker. But yeah, we really enjoyed. I do remember like we enjoyed recording that with Indrek Ojari, also a very talented actor. He did like 1,000 takes of this. Like really enjoyed him like getting really sad. So yeah, and it was tricky balancing all those tones. Yeah, I think the script was really.
But the idea in general was it, you know, this is a guy who's not telling the joke.
Yeah, exactly.
And, in a very how do you say, like inappropriate moment.
Yeah.
He's getting very serious and nobody knows how to like. Okay, now let's go and cut the head off of the cow now.
Sort of, yeah, like bring the realism, as it were, into this absurdist thing, so to counter it. But I think that to your point also, I think the script was tricky, and I think like one thing that Mick also zeroed in as he invited us behind the table, or which we I guess together started thinking like, okay, previously it was like old man cartoon, it was called multicast cartoon, as in the 2 minute sketches, and now one guiding thing, even if we didn't know exactly where the story would go, was that this is going to be old man movie, like for the big screen, wide ratio, bigger production value, and crazy mecha characters and film references. I think that was the thing that helped us guide us through the thing.
Well, the film, the old man movie, Lactopalypse, is about to have a release around the country. I know you're going to Bristol and Cornwall, and then I think going back to London at some point next week. I think Pat is working you by the sounds of it.
Is it okay? Is there an option to get like we have a wonderful distributor, Pat Kelman, who is sitting right there, and can we get the mic to him because he would love to just really quickly say, because I'm horrible at this plugging, like we're idiots here, like we just can make cow jokes, but he is actually can tell you, and we would of course love you if you, by the way, if you hated it or if you loved it, just make pictures of those guys and spread it around, because we would love to have cool people like you sitting and watching.
So Pat, how can people watch the film?